Well, it's an exciting week for the Dallas Cowboys heading into the postseason. I'm here with Garrett, Podell, NFL staff writer for CBS Sports, here to break down what to expect out of this matchup against the Greenbay Packers. And I think first and foremost, the fact that the Cowboys are going in with home field advantage, which was a huge deal coming out of Washington, but they're going up against a team that they don't really have a whole lot of familiarity with, especially now that Aaron Rodgers isn't with the team. So Jordan Love, the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, poses a lot of challenges. What do you think about him and kind of how he's embodied that role as quarterback?
Yeah, Sarah. I mean, he started off the year a little slowly, but clearly come on strong the last 8 weeks of the season. 18 touchdowns, 1 interception, finished just behind Dak for the second most passing touchdowns in the league. And one of the things that I've learned talking to the Cowboys about him is he has some of these Rodgers-like attributes. And what that looks like is he'll fade backwards in the pocket and lean off his back foot. There are a lot of players. When they're leaning off their back foot, the ball floats, doesn't go as hard, but Love still able to zip it in there. And that's something that on film, Jaron Kearse, safety for the Cowboys, Stephon Gilmore, cornerback, that they're really looking at because they know that no matter what position he's in, he's a danger to throw the ball deep downfield.
And yeah, like you mentioned, a danger, and Stephon Gilmore did talk to us a little bit about that today. Watching film on this guy, knows what to expect a little bit because of those characteristics, but Stephon Gilmore is also a guy that we have some questions about because of that injury he incurred in Washington with a separated shoulder. So what did you take from his words today and what his status is? I
think if you're a Cowboys fan, you have to be encouraged because he said, look, I feel pretty good. I'm going to play. I mean, he said it felt pretty good on Sunday just after it was popped back in, and his presence could not be more important for the Cowboys this weekend because the Packers have one of the youngest receiving corps, but it's the most productive. They have the most yards, catches, touchdowns by first or second year receivers. And so his presence out there, since there's not really a go-to guy to kind of communicate, keep the defense calm. Deron Bland, who leads the league in interceptions this year, he's only a second-year guy, and he said Gilmore's been really huge at keeping them level when things are happening at a high pace on the field.
It's pretty cool to see a guy like Gilmore and Bland, who have very different years of experience in the league, being able to do what they do out there. So obviously really encouraging to have Gilmore out there as he expects to be out there on Sunday. But then, as far as the Cowboys go, when they go into this game, their confidence level is super high. But what do they need to do in order to control the pace of this game and really dominate early on?
Well, obviously the initial thought would be Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Dak leads the league in touchdown passes, CeeDee leads the league in catches. But really, the key to keeping these Packers at bay is establishing the run, because the first 14 weeks of the season, they were the 31st ranked out of 32 teams in run defense. They've picked it up the last few weeks against some non-playoff teams, but really it's establishing Tony Pollard. Last year, he suffered the fibula injury, the gruesome ankle or leg injury against the 49ers. He started to come on a little bit at the end of the year, finished with 1,000 yards, even though he hasn't quite looked as explosive as he did a year ago. But getting him going, getting the offense in a nice rhythm, that's going to be huge, especially against the Packers defense that really has struggled for most of the year against the ground.
Well, I know one thing is for sure. The Cowboys definitely felt very confident finishing the season on a good note in Washington. I know they're feeling confident going into this game, so it'll be exciting to see the matchup out there at AT&T Stadium. Garrett, thank you so much, and we'll see you all out there at AT&T Stadium on Sunday.